Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Tyson-Shu. I'm one of the probate and estate planning attorneys at Beresford Booth. Thank you for joining with me for today's webinar. Today, we're going to talk about general information about bank accounts in probate. And sometimes, you probably have questions, like I've seen clients coming to us with questions about joint accounts, things like that, because pretty much everyone owns an account at the very least. And when you're dealing with a joint account in the probate process, questions may arise like whether is the money in the account mine or is the money in the account the estate's. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So you probably have the similar experience already that I have clients that where they were appointed or named as one of the joint account holders for the convenience. They were named by their elderly parents or by their aunt and uncle who didn't really have anyone else to rely on. So they rely on you, or for example, my client in this case. By naming them as one of the joint account holders, my client will be able to have access to those monies in the accounts in the event that, when their elderly parent or aunt and uncle ever need help, then my client will be able to go out and help them out with the financial affairs. However, maybe one day when the client's elderly parent or aunt and uncle unfortunately passes away, and the client's named as joint account holder, what does it mean? What about the monies in that account? Does the money in that account automatically become my client's money, or does the money in that account still belong to the estate? And here's how you can find out how and the nature of that account. So generally speaking, if you are named as a joint account holder like Mike,
Caroline, you have a call Park 1. Caroline, call Park.
Oopsie, I guess we may have to redo it again. Okay, I'll redo it again.
Okay, you can start over.
Yeah, I tried. I don't know. I lowered the volume already. I don't know why the sound still went through.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I don't hear them on mine, so that's kind of odd. I think if the volume's all the way down, maybe.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Tyson-Shu. I'm one of the probate and estate planning attorneys at Beresford Booth. Thank you for joining with me for today's webinar. We're going to talk about bank accounts in the general probate process. Sometimes, from time to time, I have people coming to me asking about the nature of different kinds of bank accounts. Because nowadays pretty much everyone owns at least one account. So it's a very common assets we've seen in the probate process. And in the event, and you probably have the similar experience already, and in the event that, you, for example, my client is named as one of the joint account holders with maybe, your elderly parents or, your aunt and uncle who doesn't really have anyone else to rely on. So they also name you as one of the joint account holders in the hope that you will be able to help them out with the financial affairs whenever they need it. Then what does it mean, right? If one day, unfortunately, they passed away, your elderly parent or your aunt and uncle who just passed away, and you are named as one of the account holders, what happened to the money or assets in that account? Does the money automatically belong to you, or does the money, still belong to the estate? So those kind of questions may arise in the process of serving the probate. And that's why today we're going to talk about those accounts in general a little bit. So generally speaking, if you are designated as a joint account holder simply for the purpose of convenience, then maybe your elderly parent who was the primary sole account holder, and your parent one day would like to name you as a joint account holder for the purpose of convenience, yet your elderly parent was still the one who deposited all the funds, money, assets into that account. And generally speaking, without any other designation, the money, assets, and funds in that account belongs to your elderly parent's estate. If one day your elderly parent passes away, even though you are named as account holder. Because simply sometimes intent matters, and if without any other written designation, if your elderly parents simply name you for convenience, you're not the beneficiary. You may be the beneficiary in other documents, maybe in your elderly parents' will, or in revocable living trust, or any other type of documents. It's possible. But if the account was simply designated as a joint account, you're just a joint account holder, and without anything else, chances are most likely that the monies in that account still belongs to the estate, and the money in that account will then need to be distributed based on the deceased person's other testamentary documents, or without any documents, then based on the intestate succession rules in the statute. But in other situations, sometimes the joint account can be designated with something else. So as you can see on the second one, that joint account with right of survivorship, meaning that you are not only just a joint account holder, and your parent also designated the account as a joint account with right of survivorship. With those additional words, that essentially means that you are also designated as a beneficiary, and the assets in that specific account will be considered as a non-probate asset, and the assets in that account will be can be automatically transferred to you without going through probate. Sometimes, people may see a different type of designation, which you can see on the third one, transfer on death account and payable on death account. In those situations, maybe there won't be a joint account holder, meaning that maybe for your parents' account, you're not named as a joint account holder, but you are named as a beneficiary for those type of accounts, and your parent specifically designated the nature of the account to be transfer on death or payable on death. Then for those type of accounts, they are also non-probate assets. And if you're named as a sole beneficiary, then eventually, yes, those accounts can be automatically transferred to you as a beneficiary, given the nature how the account were designated. Those are just some general types of bank accounts out there. So sometimes it's confusing with differences on few wordings. It could completely change. The nature could completely change, and it could completely mean different things. So what should I do? In the event that you will need to administer probate, and you will need to handle some bank accounts, some accounts that are not as straightforward as you think. What can you do? What should I do? One is to always, the best way to move forward is to understand the differences in different types of accounts. Right? We always want to make sure that we understand what type of assets we're dealing with and the nature of the assets. And if you have sat through the first few minutes of this webinar, you are doing the right thing. You're trying to gain some knowledge on the different types of accounts already. And secondly, I would encourage you to ask questions. Go talk to the bank, go talk to the representative at the financial institution. Generally speaking, if you have the right authority, if you're appointed as a personal representative, or if you're the named account holder, you have the right paperwork, they are usually very, very helpful. They will be willing to share all information needed with you. And I would encourage you to further request written documents or like a confirmation letter from them, asking them to clarify on the nature of the accounts. And sometimes they will be willing to issue a letter saying that, okay, this type of account is a joint account with right of survivorship, or they will, they will be providing a letter to you specifying, okay, this type of account will be actually transferred on this account, and here's a list of beneficiaries listed on the account. In that way, then I think you accomplish the first step to administer the probate needed. So today's webinar is short because today's webinar primarily focuses on the general information on different types of accounts that you may be seeing in the probate process. So thank you for sitting through this webinar with me. If you ever have any questions about probate or estate planning in general, please feel free to reach out. We are here to help. And thank you and have a good afternoon.